looking for dorsal fins, heads popping up, tails splashing, anything like that. But if you see any people around, especially people wearing black wetsuits or jumping around like fools, those are probably trainers training animals. All right, it's 3 dolphin pens wide. You have 4 people on the far left. You have 3 people on the right with the dolphin in front of them. In between that is a yellow bucket sitting on a dock. Right around that yellow bucket, just to the left, there's a dolphin head that just popped up. Around that yellow bucket's an easy space to spot them on the surface. Now keep looking over there while I'm talking, because that's the best place to pay attention. And we're waiting. Alright, while we're waiting... Oh, in the back, here comes the jump. While we're waiting, Captain Adams and I like this area. We can stop, we can wait for things to develop. Pretty clear that not a whole lot's developing over there. You'd want to keep your eyes over there for now. But instead of taking up our time over here, Captain's going to bring you around the corner where we can get you closer to the animals, okay? No doubt you notice the sign that says stay back 350 feet. Well, around the corner, the dolphin pens come out along the main channel where all the boats travel. Navy has signs up that say keep out, stay back 350 feet, and you will notice that around the corner, we don't pay any attention to them. Because the dolphin pens come out along the main channel where all the boats travel, and the Navy knows, we know, so does the harbor police, that you're really only controlled about 100 feet from their pier, okay? So it gives us a chance to get closer to the animals. Now the downside about this area up here is the main street. You don't park your car in the middle of the street, right? We very rarely get a chance to stop. But we will get a chance to cruise by, hopefully give you guys a better view with more going on. Really depends on the animals at this point. A what? Oh, pelican. Oh yeah, there's one of the California brown pelicans sitting on the dock right there. Okay, so this area up here, these are the A students, all right? The Navy refers to this as academy. Some of these animals are very young, most are middle-aged, and a few of them are senior dolphins that work to train the younger dolphins. They're dolphins that used to deploy, and now they stay in San Diego to teach the youngsters. All right, so bring a dolphin over here, team it up with a civilian trainer that'll teach them the basic dolphin vocabulary and make sure they've got an aptitude. From that point, they'll pass it over to a military trainer that teaches them a much larger military vocabulary, judges them every day to see if the animal's going to make it over the fleet. The difference between a fleet dolphin and an A student is not the animal's ability, okay? Because all the dolphins have pretty much the same abilities. The difference is the animal's willingness to work with people. Dolphins like 5-year-olds, some of them are angels, some of them are holy terrors, and they all have bad days. The Navy's looking for the animal with the least amount of bad days, so that when missions come, dolphin's ready to go. All right, dolphins are in these squares of seawater.
Guys, we're really close, so I'm going to hop off the mic. Sorry if I'm yelling a little too loud for you, but I don't want to disturb them. This square of seawater on the other side of the boat has a dolphin in it.
I said it, one jumping from this one.
Patience, look around. When you see them, point straight at them, help the people.
Oh, look! Over there. Over there. And just before the boat, 98, there's one too.
They're getting ready to load one.
Yes?
There's a dolphin by the orange ball. Here comes the jump. You ready, guys? Experience for you. 1, 2, 3. Here he goes. He's not listening. Oh! Okay. Where that dolphin just jumped, behind it to the right. You see them taking buckets of water and pouring that on the gray pad? They're getting ready to load the dolphins into one of those carriers that you saw earlier. Might take some time. They could have it done in 30 seconds. It could take 10 minutes, okay? Depends on what they're doing with this animal and how well practiced it is.
There's one right there.
I think the coolest thing about what they do with these animals is when they train these animals, they train them out in the harbor, out in the ocean. They do absolutely nothing to guarantee the dolphins come home every night. The reason why the dolphins come home, they like being in the Navy. They can leave anytime they want to, but the Navy has its benefits, specifically medical and dental. Wild dolphins around here lucky to make it to 13 years old. What I mean by that is half of them don't. Almost all these animals make it past 26. These These animals are so well taken care of, they even brush their teeth a couple times a week. Now you're telling that some of the senior dolphins, about 40 years old.
I'm sorry.
What is this here?
See the sea lion just lying there watching the dolphin. Maybe you want to get a picture.
Alright, sir, because you asked.
Alright guys, take a look at this weird gray thing on your left-hand side. Got a person walking on it. Look at the left, looks like a big gas tank. Look at the right, big tangled nest of cages. That is the flip. Now take a look at this photo I've got in my hand. Deep ocean research, state-of-the-art, 1952. They tow this out to the ocean, start filling this with seawater. 20 minutes later, the flip flips 90 degrees. Now I told you about our wheels getting deep underwater, helping to keep us stable. That's exactly what that does, except this guy has a tube with 42 tons of seawater going 300 feet down. That means he is rock solid. Waves go up and down 30 feet. This thing moves up and down less than a quarter of an inch. Alright, they used it for deep ocean research, dropping temperature gauges down into the deep ocean to measure underwater currents. They started noticing all sorts of weird things. Now remember, a lot of this happened in the 50s and 60s. They realized things like when the weather up top changed, so did the ocean's temperature 2,000 feet down. Couldn't figure out how the weather was changing the ocean, and they realized that ocean temperatures have a lot to do with our weather. And since the weather on the west coast ends up blowing across the east coast, between that and satellites, they were able to do a lot better for weather prediction. Plus, you're old enough to remember in the 70s and 80s, weathermen would tell you something and you'd say, yeah, right, plus or minus 8 degrees. But nowadays, it's plus or minus 2 degrees. They've gotten very good. This piece of research equipment was a big part of that. Also, because the sides are round, waves don't slap it, making noise, okay? I know you're hearing wave sounds right now and you don't even realize, but because this one doesn't have that, they were able to drop deep ocean microphones down to listen to whales vibrate. This thing used to spend about 7 months out of the year in the ocean. Nowadays, it spends about 7 days out of the year. Mostly because it was built, say-the-art 1952. Chevy made a car, state-of-the-art 1952. It's called a 52 Chevy. You wouldn't want to drive it to work every day. Same idea.